morning. Welcome to episode 6 of Chandramala Mindful Business Consultancy, where we are currently aligning your business. In episode 6, and at this stage of the process, a lot of time has been spent on reflection work, observation, and really getting down to, like they say, the nitty-gritty of the challenges that your business is facing, be it people side or be it client side. And so in this session, we really like to take a reflective time to have a look at each step that we've gone through. So from the introduction to the business alignment process, where we had a look at the space alignment, so we will look at that and ascertain where are we from a heartbeat perspective on the business. So looking at the heartbeat, we see with all the discussions and the shifting and the changing of perceptions, and really facing a couple of the true realities of the business, and the enlightenment of, oh my word, I didn't know that this department was such a problematic department. We go back to the heart and we have a look and see how the heart has been operating since that initial time, and if there is anything that needs to shift on the actual heartbeat of the business, we will then start to shift it in this stage of the process. We also have a look at everybody that was actually involved in the process, and we take time to have a look at the internal flow. What came out for it on your side? How did you perceive it, and how do you perceive it now? What in your own mind and your own understanding has actually shifted? And it's quite an important process, because when we do any changes, it's about the consistency, it's about the change of behavior, it's about actively partaking in the process and the new habits that you're forming to improve yourself as well as the business. And so this session is quite important, where we really reflect on what are the changes that actually occurred for you. What is your perception now in comparison to what it was before? How does your feel around the person in that department that perhaps was upsetting you or didn't actually deliver what you required? Has your communication style changed? And we have a look at what was your take home in the whole process, and what do you want to do differently? So often we find at this stage, I mean, we probably have done around about 8 hours process work, and it would be split up over various days, because there's a lot of internal shifting, mindset changes, and it can be quite exhausting as well. So we split it over perhaps 3 or 4 days. But at this stage, we've already done about 8 hours of really deep process work, really kind of analyzing, almost doing an autopsy on your business, and now wanting to put things together. But we want to put it together properly. And so your perception of how it is now, which is a renewal process, it's a fresh perspective. What has changed for you? How do you want to do things differently? How's the relationship amongst the people that are participating in this process? And we often find that the leadership team, the executive team, or the directors or business owner, we find that there's a lot of dynamics that have shifted on a positive front with the people that have actually participated. I think a lot more empathy for each other, a lot more acceptance, and I often find this between, say for instance, HR and sales. They do such vast different things, but yet they have to work together, and they need to understand and have empathy for each other. And at this stage, after 8 hours, we've really had time to really create more empathy and understanding for each person's role, and the beauty that they bring, the gifts that they bring, the skill that they bring, and how they actually work quite interconnectedly in order to achieve the greater goal. We also have a look at what is it that we actually physically need to change within the business. And yeah, we may need to change one department into a different building or change the decor. We may also find that perhaps we need to reevaluate that department's approach. Maybe we need to do a little bit of change in positions. And that's always a tricky one, but we have to do that coming from a very good mindset and from a very calm, decisive perspective. So the reflection point is a very deep, it's a very personalized process as well, and where we are really sharing our deepest thoughts, our deepest fears, and how we actually overcame that. And so at this process already, at this stage, we've already discovered our ability to overcome certain challenges that we've perhaps had before. And we start to realize how we become more in alignment and in balance with ourselves, which allows us to interconnect with our colleagues so much better. And we have a clearer mindset, we're a lot more focused through this deeper reflective process, which didn't seem to be so much hard work because it was interactive, it was engaging, it was definitely exciting because we got the neuroscience cards, we got the nature cards, and you may actually find that you have a deeper connection to nature. You may find as well at this stage, which often comes out in a process at this stage, is that our relationships at home have improved. I've got more clarity. I actually feel so much calmer to spend time with my children, where before you might have been a little bit edgy, etc., and not wanting to spend time with children or maybe have a date night with your wife. And so it's a really coming to the closure of the process and peace of mind, peace of heart, and that reassurance that you actually have within yourself, within your business, and also the team that you're working with. So a beautiful process on episode 6 as we reflect on all of this and have a look and share from a very deep, centered, calm and grounded perspective on what are the changes that we are wanting to bring into our own lives. By this stage already you have already shifted, and so it's always exciting for me to see how somebody that has maybe been quite bombastic and quite aggressive within the business perhaps has taken a more of a back seat, but has still got the power and the ability to achieve what he or she wants, but from a different perspective. So amazing, and I think this is also the time where people realize that they definitely do need to bring a bit more heart into the business, which is beneficial for them and everybody else at the end of the day. So thank you very much for watching episode 6 on reflection. Reflect further, because the process doesn't end, and we will see you next week for a final closure of business alignment. Thank you.